Hey everybody, this is Jerichos.
And this is Jerichos' wife. Welcome back to Wife Wednesday. Right now we're playing Lego Star Wars.
That's right, and I took control of Yoda. He's mine now. I'm jumping all over the place. Hey, R2, come here. R2! I want to beat on him with the stick, just like episode 5. Ah, won't let me do that. No, I don't want to hit him with a lightsaber. That'd be mean.
That would be mean.
Alright, I'm done playing around. Shall we?
Yes, episode 3. Sorry that it looks like we already did some stuff. We had some recording issues, so we're going in again.
Yeah, if it looks like we already did this, it's because we did. But then my capture software decided to be a jerk and waste the audio recording. So, back in for Battle over Coruscant. This one, I think, thus far is your favorite vehicle mission. At least
maybe.
Something like that, because it's a little more... oh, whoops, I did free play. Let's go back. I need to do story. Thank you, I hit the wrong thing. Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. Chapter 1, Battle over Coruscant. The Republic is crumbling under a separatist assault led by Count Dooku and General Grievous. In a stunning move, separatist forces have swept into Coruscant and kidnapped Supreme Chancellor Palpatine. As the droid army attempts to flee with their hostage, Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker lead a desperate mission to rescue the Chancellor.
Now, what's hilarious about this is, assuming you haven't been living under a rock and you see this movie for the first time, but you've already seen episodes 1 and episode 2, you probably have already figured out that Palpatine is the bad guy.
Yeah.
So, essentially, he kidnapped himself.
I know, and it cracks me up because, I mean, I'm sure there's people who didn't realize he was the bad guy up to this point, but it seemed pretty obvious even by the end of episode 2 that Palpatine is Darth Sidious.
Funny story, I figured it out at the end of episode 1, and it wasn't because I realized that it was the same actor, because I did not figure that out, but I did notice that,
Crap. Every time we play this level, every time I get confused with the controls and I run into things.
I noticed that at the very end of episode 1, when he says something about, we should keep an eye on you, young Skywalker, that he says Skywalker in the exact same voice from, like, episode 6 or episode... I think episode 6, maybe episode 5, when he first says the name Skywalker.
They really did.
And I was like, oh my gosh, it's the same person. And then I looked it up later and I found out that it was the same actor, too. So.
Yeah, they really did toss that in there specifically as a, clue for it, which, I mean, it seems kind of obvious in hindsight. Although, I'll admit, I went into it and I knew right away. I kind of, had a cheating, though. I read a lot of the books from the extended universe, and in the original movies, they call him the Emperor. They never give him a name, just the Emperor. In the books, he's always called Emperor Palpatine. So I hear, Senator Palpatine, and I'm like, oh, well, that's the dude who's going to become the Emperor, so...
Yeah, but I hadn't read very many extended universe books, and what I had read was primarily post-original trilogy.
True.
So I didn't really have the same knowledge base going into it that you did.
Yeah. Well, and
also, I was only like 13 or 14 when episode 1 came out, so...
Yeah, it was pretty easy for it to kind of, slip that by you until the big reveal with the voice at the end.
Exactly. Though it did seem sort of obvious that he was shady.
Yeah, he always seemed a little up to no good.
Like he had an ulterior motive.
That's a good way of putting it.
Especially while he was seeming like he was helping Amidala.
Yeah. Now, by the way, as we're playing, you see these things floating here? These are the mini kits. We already collected them all when we went through last time, because they're all just right on the way, and they're easy to get to.
Yeah, the nice thing about this battle is that it's on rails, so you can't really die by just, like, accidentally going off screen or falling into something.
Yeah.
You mostly die by being hit with something or running into something.
And the funny thing is, if you die, it actually sends you back to the start of the most recent section. So it's kind of like a checkpoint system where death actually matters for once.
Yeah, the first time we played this, we kept running into the turrets, and it kept resetting, and we thought that there was a glitch in the game.
Yeah. Oh, get it. Yes, we got the red brick. Because we've gotten True Jedi and we found all the mini kits, and now we just found the red brick there. This will actually be the first stage that we will have completed 100% the first time through without needing to go back on free play because there's no TIE Fighter doors or anything.
Very nice.
And I actually can't remember what the red brick is for this section. There's so many of them. I mean, there's literally one for every stage.
Yeah, and only more than a handful.
Less than
not
half.
all of them are really useful.
Less than half are actually useful. There's a bunch of them like score multipliers and invincibility, stuff like that. But then there's some where, like, poo money, where if you're riding on an animal, you can make it poo out Lego studs. No, I'm not kidding.
Although that does help you get more money, I guess.
True. Now, the one thing that's really tough about this stage is if you're not used to inverted flight controls. I know that's been your problem because you just don't think
I go up when I think I'm supposed to go down, or I go down when I think I'm supposed to go up. And
Vehicle Smart Bomb, I think that just improves the weapons from your vehicles when you're, firing the purple missiles. I'm not really sure. I might look it up at some point just to verify. Actually, you know what? I'll flash it on screen exactly what it is. And, want to continue story?
Let's continue.
This might be another short episode, because that level really took no time at all, because it's on rails. You can't wander around. You're forced to keep going.
Let's continue trying to rescue Palpatine, who, again,
kidnapped himself.
Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, Chapter 2, Chancellor in Peril. Except, again, not really in peril. He kidnapped himself. High above the planet Coruscant, a deadly battle rages between the Separatist forces and the army of the Republic. On the Separatist flagship, Count Dooku and General Grievous hold Chancellor Palpatine captive. Crashing their Jedi starfighters into the main hangar, Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker are surrounded by hostile droid forces.
Okay, and can we just say, General Grievous is another character we'll get to in a minute of more detail, but he's just weird.
Yeah, he's very, very weird. Well, what's most weird to me at the beginning of episode 3 is that when he appears, they act as though he's just somebody that we already know.
Yeah.
So I always think like I missed him in episode 2 somehow.
Or like he was supposed to be in episode 2 and got cut, or like he's in a director's cut
That
somehow.
is kind of what it feels like, yeah, because they talk about him right off the bat as though he's somebody that we know.
Yeah. And yet, this is our first introduction to him.
Also, it's kind of frustrating, like, is he human? Is he a cyborg? Is he a droid? I think that he's meant to be some sort of weird foreshadowing of Darth Vader, but the
kind of like a
doesn't...
human who, like, had this stuff done to him.
Yeah.
But except maybe not as good, like, something went wrong.
Yeah, that's valid. But, I mean, the main thing is the foreshadowing doesn't really work, because we all know Darth Vader. It's a prequel. It's not...
This isn't the original
Hardly
movie.
anybody watches episode 3 having not seen 4 through 6. And if you do, sorry, but you did it wrong.
Yeah, you're supposed to watch them 4 through 6, then 1 through 3, which I realize is kind of, hypocritical since we're playing through them in this order, but...
Yeah, but that's because the Lego game makes us do that.
Yeah, and honestly, it's how the games were released. I mean, the very first Lego Star Wars game was just episodes 1, 2, and 3. They didn't even have episode 4, 5, and 6 until the second game. So...
Well, and the games do build on each other in a different way from the movies, so it works for the games.
That is true. I made a whole bunch of Lego studs fall down. I love that just everything you do makes money again. Also, I totally just now noticed, even though we've played through this, I played it through, I guess, half a dozen times at this point. Anakin has a black arm because, he lost his hand last time.
Yep.
So, he's got, a robotic arm.
Bionic hand.
Anakin is the bionic commando.
Bionic Jedi.
Just as long as, his arm isn't really Padme. Okay, and you won't get that reference, but the internet will get that reference. It ties into a game called Bionic Commando. A ruthless mercenary who
good, we didn't die.
Yeah. A ruthless mercenary has this, kick-ass bionic arm, and the big reveal at the end of the game is that the arm is his wife. Like, she gave her life
to give him a fake arm.
Well, she gave her life and like imbued her being into this bionic arm to make it work because it's more than just machine or something. It's literally one of the worst and just dumbest video game reveals of all time.
Yeah, that sounds pretty dumb.
So if you ever hear anyone say his wife is his arm, that's what they're referencing.
Okay. Information that I did not need to know. So anyway, reasons why episode 3 is the literal worst.
Because his wife is not his arm?
No. I thought we were going to change the subject now.
Oh.
Are we not changing the subject away from
not quite
wife
yet.
being arm?
Okay. Yes, I'm done with the whole arm wife thing.
Okay. So, those of you who disagree that Episode 3 is the worst of the prequels are no longer my friends, just to be clear. Episode 3 is clearly the worst of the prequels. And the main reason, I think, is that it takes itself really, really seriously.
Way too seriously.
Episodes 4 through 6 just have a lot of humor.
And camp.
There's a lot of tongue-in-cheek. There's a lot of camp. There's a lot of cheesiness. There's a lot of just George Lucas being like, I'm just going to be ridiculous and have fun with it. And the prequels in general, but especially Episode 3, are very much meant to be just excessively deep and dramatic.
Very dramatic.
To the point that they become ridiculous because they're not being ridiculous enough.
Yeah, because they take themselves too seriously, they're no longer serious.
And Episode 3 does this to a fault. I would also argue that the negative things that I feel about the way that Marvel movies are being done right now. Well, positive things about Marvel movies, but negative things about the way that movies based on DC comics are being done.
A lot of superhero movies are doing this.
Yeah, because comic books and comic book movies are meant to be sort of silly.
Silly, campy, cheesy. They're meant to be fun. I mean, you have this idea of an astromech droid, like this little droid who, you know, zaps the little rat thing who's hanging out, you know, by Jabba.
By the way, there was a mini kid in here when we played through it before, everyone.
Yeah, actually I need to keep control of him. Can I open this? Nope, need a protocol droid.
So, anyway, what I was going to say, though, is that DC, movies based on DC comics recently, especially the Christopher Nolan ones,
yeah, the Christopher Nolan Batman,
tend to take themselves really, really seriously and just be unnecessarily dramatic.
I think we might have missed something. Here, come back here for a second. They do take themselves way too dramatically.
Whereas the way that the Marvel Cinematic Universe is doing their movies right now, they're nice and silly.
Yeah, well, look at, for example, Ant-Man. Okay, did we... Oh, we did miss something back here. But I think that's...
Just some coins?
Just some coins, yeah. Ant-Man is wonderfully ridiculous. Fun. And then you look at, like, for example, The Dark Knight. And sure, Heath Ledger's Joker was creepy and fun and all that, but he wasn't comic book funny.
Yeah. And that's a problem, I feel like, in the prequels, you know, especially the character of Anakin Skywalker. George Lucas just takes him too seriously and tries too hard with him.
It should be all dark and broody and emo and
like the original trilogy, especially Empire Strikes Back, which arguably is the best of the original trilogy.
Debatable, but I'll cede you the point.
There's just ridiculousness. There's Han and Leia go into the asteroid and they end up in a creature.
Inside the creature's mouth.
And it's trying to eat them. And it's ridiculous and funny and silly. Han Solo gets encased in carbonite. It's silly.
I mean, it's dramatic, but it's also silly, yeah.
The drama is cut by comic relief, and it's done really, really well.
There we go. Get out of my way, droidica.
So, anyway, arguably that's the major problem with the prequels.
Yeah. And I would tend to agree.
I mean, obviously there are lots of problems with the prequels.
Well, look at Hayden Christensen. I mean, sure, he's not a horrible actor, but it's too overly dramatic and serious.
Yeah, and his chemistry with Natalie Portman is not great, and on top of that, their romance is over-analyzed and over-dramatized.
Also super forced. Oh, okay, can't
Yeah,
even see what's going on.
what's happening.
Oh, I think we have to kill the droids first.
Oh, I'm R2-D2. That's the problem.
Oh, I was wondering why I couldn't see Anakin at all.
I was wondering that too. I was like, why can't I control Anakin? And I kept trying to move backwards, and that was just making things worse. Sorry about that.
That's okay. We just more Jedi confusion. All right.
I thought I was trying to change it, but I think I was trying to change it right when we were changing rooms.
And thus we moved rooms before the change actually took place.
Exactly.
Now, power up and die.
I will say, after all of those negative things that I just said about Episode 3, that I did thoroughly enjoy the novelization at the time of reading.
There was something really good about the novelization, and I think it was partly just you could put so much more into it. They could, you know, put character monologues, you know, thinking.
Yeah, a lot more of what was going on in their head, which was definitely useful. And I feel like it also did a better job of kind of slowly bringing about the downfall of Anakin, whereas in the movie it feels somewhat forced.
Yeah. Speaking of the downfall of Anakin, that happened quick.
Bye, Count Dooku.
And now we have the the Supreme Chancellor, the bad guy.
Palpatine.
And let's be honest, looking at him from the end of Episode 2 onward, did anyone have any delusions that he was a bad guy? I mean, come on.
You mean delusions that he wasn't?
Or, yes, delusions that he was a good guy, or that he was not up to no good, or any of that stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious.
He's creepy. I was about to say, he's got this, you know, almost unhealthy fascination with Anakin, which, when you consider how old he is and how young Anakin is, almost seems even weirder. Not in a sexual way. I'm not trying to say like he's a pedophile, but he's just, you're stuck behind a wall.
Sorry.
He just has this weird fascination.
Yeah, well, I mean, he realizes how strong Anakin is in the Force, which I guess makes it make sense, but he definitely is just very manipulative and
yeah,
just crazy.
Can I do something with these doors?
This one.
Aha! Open the door. What do we got? Money. I think there was a mini kit there originally.
I believe so, yes.
Oh, right. I can control Chancellor Palpatine, the man in the dress. Hey, are you trying?
He
No.
can't do anything, though.
No, he can't. He can jump. He can't punch. He can't use the Force because he's, you know, pretending not to be. He can't roll or double jump or anything. All he can do is run around as Anakin tries to chop his head off.
I'm trying to kill him and you won't let me.
Oh, wait. Okay. Go ahead. Do it again, but not when I'm controlling him because, you know, then we'd lose studs. There he goes.
There we go.
Jump on his head.
Bye. That needs protocol droid.
Yup. And the fourth door just won't open.
So onward we go. Oh, no!
Okay. I forgot about this section. Okay, I think we can just follow the studs out.
I died. How about if only you do this section so that you're not dealing with me dying repeatedly?
Yeah, this is a nasty little section where you have to keep running. It's hard to see, but if you touch one of the vents, it launches you skyward and you die.
Most of the time, yeah.
Most of the time, unless you just catch it just right. Ooh, okay. I made it.
Yay.
Okay. Now, we actually passed by an area that you need the bomb for, or like a thermal grenade from a bounty hunter. Let's just go back so I can see it. Okay, I think you died, and it reset us, but because we've already deactivated it, it's no longer chasing us.
That's weird.
But I think these things will still kill us if we catch them the wrong way. That is kind of annoying. Alright.
That is annoying.
Ah, yeah,
There's
there.
a spot, yeah.
Oh,
that we
and
need
that's
a thermal detonator later. That's what it is.
Knew there was something in there.
I think there was also maybe a mini kit around there somewhere. And oh no, I died.
Okay, but that's okay. We're down here. We're able to keep going. Come on.
I'm trying to get some of my coins back.
Good point. And I think we can leave now. Is there anything we're missing?
I don't think so. Let's
Cool.
move on. Upstairs.
Or weird undulating ramp thing?
Yeah,
Which, okay,
it's
I just
strange.
realized, look at this. this almost looks like a handle, and then a little space, and then it's like a lightsaber.
Weird.
I don't think that's what it's intended to be, but it kind of looks like one. And now, for the conveyor belt scene. Everybody remembers this scene from the movie, right?
It is a fun Lego stage, though. I feel like the best of the stages in the Lego games are the ones that, like, have really very little to do with what actually happened in the movie.
I know. Oh, wait, no, this isn't where I need R2. This is where you trigger that. Oh, why can't I switch? Thank you. Get this. And drop some money down on us.
Yay, money. Not for you, Chancellor.
Chancellor Palpatine, you are already getting paid too much, and you're evil. As a result, I hereby sentence you to American politics. I mean, he's already screwed up the galactic politics, so...
I'm not really sure what to say about that.
Yeah.
I don't think that I'm going to vote Palpatine 2016, though.
Palpatine 2016? No? Not gonna do that?
Definitely not.
Alright. By the way, where we just blew up that section up there, there was originally a mini kit. And R2 is apparently trying to interface with the wall.
Yeah, Anakin's in the way.
Well, interface with Anakin. Get him out of the way. Zap him.
And Grievous.
Yep. Now, I said that this was going to...
He's so freaky looking.
He really is. I said this might be a short episode because that first chapter was so short, but I forgot how long this one is.
Yeah, there's kind of a lot of wandering around the ship and everything.
Also, I loved Anakin's face there. He's like, yes, I get to kill more things. He's already starting to look creepy and evil. Now, I have to say something. Grievous's bodyguards here. I know that in the movie they have the Vibra axes or Vibra spears, whatever they are. There's the electricity, the vibration up top. But here in the game, they just look like they're wielding the giant Q-tips that they used in American Gladiators. That is what it looks like. Giant pink Q-tips.
What are those things called?
I don't know. There's a term for them. I used to know it, believe it or not.
I was just recently watching the episode of Gilmore Girls where Rory is trying to explain to Lorelai, she's on spring break, and she's trying to explain to Lorelai what those things are because some guys are like playing with them in the pool.
Yeah.
And she describes them as giant Q-tips, and Lorelai's like, I keep picturing giant Q-tips. And Rory's like, no, get the giant Q-tips out of your head. And she's like, I can't.
Well, you shouldn't be sticking giant Q-tips in your head. No. Okay, I'm sorry, that was wrong. I think maybe, like, baton might be the wrong word.
No, batons are those, like, little sticks.
That, like, marching
that, like,
parades or bands
and,
use.
like, gymnasts sometimes use them. Or, like,
yeah.
when they do, like, dance clubs at school and stuff.
Since they're, like, giant versions of those or Q-tips, I'm going to call them either battle batons or battle Q-tips.
Battle Q-tips is a great name.
It is indeed. Well, that wraps up Episode 3, Chapter 2. We got True Jedi and a lot of studs. We're rolling it now. I say that we're going to have so much money later. It's not even going to be a competition with this.
Yeah, this is definitely one of those games where money becomes ridiculous at some point.
What's funny is it's very important very early on. When you're trying to buy the red bricks that increase your score multiplier, those are expensive. But as soon as you get those, it becomes easier to get more.
Exactly.
So, the more money you have, the easier it is to make more money. Sounds kind of familiar.
Yeah.
So, well, we're going to pop back into the cantina. Now, something I didn't mention here, I do love, again, the themes for each episode's World Hub, where you've got here this lava, dark fire, kind of evil-looking place. It's supposed to be reminiscent of the big finale in Episode 3, but it's just a nice touch. It almost looks like it's burned here. So,
if you've enjoyed this video, please click like and subscribe if you want to continue watching
our wonderful commentary and enjoyable gameplay.
Yes, that. Also, follow at Jericho's on Twitter for video. Occasionally other things.
Occasionally I say some witty things, spread some good news. And
dance around as a Lego Obi-Wan Kenobi for some reason.
Jedi dance party. Woo, Jedi dance party. Oh, hey, how about this? Double Anakin dance party. We have 2 Padmes, 2 Anakins, Obi-Wan and Yoda. Oh, 3 Padmes.
I think it's funny that Anakin's hair is the same color as the other Obi-Wan's hair.
It is, actually. Oh my god. It's the same exact color.
That's weird. Anyway.
We'll see you guys next time.